Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a 2-page layout for the Rosie Studio Creative Club using the Keepin' Cool collection. So I have photos from the aquarium still, and thought I would use the Doodlebug collection for all of them, but I absolutely love the colors and all of the different icons for this layout or the collection. So I am deciding to use this one instead. So I have used these same papers before and decided to do it again for this one. So what I'm going to end up doing is I have these 4 strips of paper wide enough that my 4x6 photo will lay on top of them and kind of mat them, I guess. And then I am going to go ahead and dovetail all of them. I can't remember how wide they are, but what I'm doing here is measuring into the middle of the paper and then cutting up just a little bit, but that will give me kind of the notch I need to then cut the dovetails out. So I'm just going to line them up. Obviously, I am separating the 2 yellows with the 2 blues. And this is actually just a really, really simple kind of layout design, I guess. One thing I like to do when I am using tags like this or flags is when I want to stagger them and make sure that I don't miscut, I will actually have them overhang the top and then go back and trim off the excess. And that way it just makes sure that I don't cut it too short because I've done that before. And with Rosie Studio, you get one of each pattern paper. So I don't have extra, and these are actually scraps. So I really don't have any extra to make mistakes. So you can see that I just flip it over, trim off the excess, and then it is the exact size that I wanted. So here are my 4 photos. Again, I am going to just kind of line them up, each one on top of the pattern paper. I am trimming these ones down. It was crooked and I just didn't love how that looked. So 2 of them are a little bit smaller than 4x6, and then the other 2 are 4x6. So I am just going to mat all of these in white just to make sure that they stand out from those busy background papers. And from here, I really didn't have any idea of how I was going to embellish. I just have them all 4 across the page. And to be quite honest, I wasn't even going to record this layout. I was just going to create it and upload it, but decided why not. So here we are. I'm going through the ephemera pack, and there are 2 of every icon. So I have a bunch, and I have a bunch of extras. You know, I am running out of paper, but I have all of these pieces of ephemera. So what I decided to do is actually it's not a scene because they don't all go together, but I am going to layer ephemera going all the way across the bottom of my photos. Like I said, just have a plethora of options, and so I tried to use kind of the more beachy themes, a lighthouse and some of the beach huts, the little Jeep with the surfboard on top, just kind of playing around with all of the different maybe pieces that for me I won't use for the beach here in Michigan. This has a good tropical feel to this collection. And I am just about caught up on all of my Florida vacation photos. So for me, I decided to use all of the kind of more tropical embellishments. So I won't make you watch me tape them all down. I am going to kind of place them going all across the page, like I mentioned, with some words, not a bunch, but there's that cool and there's that pennant that says awesome. So still going through some embellishments off to the side there. I do have that happy place, and I realized if I add all of these embellishments across the bottom, I'm not going to really have a title. So that happy place is going to end up being my title up at the top, and I will add kind of to that, but that will actually be my only embellishment at the top across either page. So is this my favorite layout? Probably not. I'm glad that I tried this and kind of did maybe something different for me with using all of these embellishments. But sometimes when I do a 2-page layout, that's kind of when maybe I struggle with where to embellish. And that was definitely the case with this one. There's just, not that triangular effect with embellishing or the layout whatsoever. So different, yes. Will I do it again? Probably not, but to each their own. If this really speaks to you, great. Have at the scrap lift. I don't know. I'm glad that it's done. I'm glad that I got to use up a lot of the pieces. But yeah, I am just kind of adding the finishing touches to the bottom, layering in some other pieces down there. Otherwise, I did pop some up on foam tape to add some dimension, but you can see I have starfish, the little crabs, some other fish, just some really beachy themed embellishments. And then because the cluster kind of hangs off the page on the far right, I did end up adding a ticket off the pattern paper, I guess, not off the page, but off the pattern paper on the left as well, just to kind of extend that. Like I said, I am going to add a little bit to the top, that little banner, and then there is an alpha in this collection, so I'm going to add just the word my on top of the embellishment piece there. You can, with Rosie Studio, get the individual pieces of the collections, or I think for a better price, you can get the whole collection bundle, and that's what I've been doing. And there's just so many different pieces. There's ephemera, there's chipboard, there's puffy stickers, there's alphas, stamps, kind of sticker books, you name it, they have it. And each collection kind of varies with which pieces are in the collection. But yeah, I love having all of the different options available to me. So that is just about going to finish off this layout. And before I forget, I do have a 10% off code with Rosie Studio. I will have that in the comment section down below if you want to order. They do have quite a few new collections as well. A couple new Christmas collections, one that kind of has a fall theme, and then kind of a birthday collection. So they are always bringing in new collections, which is great. And I lied. I forgot that I did bring in that little parrot and a frame at the top. So the title, My Happy Place, was not the only embellishment at the top, but pretty close. And here's a little seashell. So kind of getting ahead of myself, did this layout, if you can't tell, quite a while ago. And just forgot to bring the photo up to take a look. So finishing off with just some enamel dots, again, from the collection. So there's another one that I forgot to mention, another product they have. They also have like glitter gems in some of the collections, which I love. So definitely check out Rosie Studio. I hope you guys enjoyed this layout, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.